Hello friends, welcome to this new video. So in this video we are going to learn how to organize our things, right? So previously in organization we have organized this particular tables, right? So we have different tables. So we have classified the table. We have learned the classification of the table. So basically there are two types of table. First one is the lookup table and second one is the fact table, right? So always the data flows from lookup table to fact tables because lookup table is used for applying the filters. So first we have arranged all lookup tables. After that we have arranged all fact tables, and then we have arranged all supporting tables, right, which we have done previously. Now these two tables also, which are company expenses and channel revenue, these are the supporting tables, because by merging these two particular table or by integrating these two particular tables we have generated this income statement data, right? In our previous video we have learned these particular things. Now in this video we have to organize our measures. Now always remember, whenever you are creating the measures, right, it should be in this separate table. Okay, so what we have to do, you have to just click on enter data, right? When you click on enter data, one create table pop-up will generate. Now here you have to give the name as measures. Okay, once you have entered the measures, just click on load. Okay, so one new table will be generated with the name as measures, or we can rename it as key measures as well. Anything will be fine. It's loading. So now see here, one table is created, so we will just rename this as key measures, right? Now in this particular key measures, if you observe carefully, if you click on this particular arrow, so there is one blank column, right? So what we will do, previously we have calculated one measures, right, which was total sales. So if you click on this particular measure, total sales, okay, so here home table option is there. So inside home table, what we will do, we will keep key measures as the home table. So see, this particular total sales will move to the key measures. Now we can delete this particular column. Okay, so you can click on delete from model. Okay, and yes, click on yes. So now this is our table key measures. So which will contain all the measures, right? Now one more different type of measure we need, which is the time comparison. So for that particular thing, we will again go to home. Okay, go to enter data. The name of the table, we will keep it as time comparison. Just click on load. So one more table will be created with the name as time comparison. Okay, so once the table is created, so we have to now create some measures. So just right click and go to new quick measure. Okay, so now we have to enter the formula. So instead of quick measure, what we can do, we can click on new measure. So now let's find out the sales for last year. So what we will do, we will write sales last year. So see, whenever you are creating any measure, or whenever you are calculating any number, we have to write down DAX formula, right? So DAX stands for data analysis expression. Now let's say we want to find out the sales for last year. So our name of the measure will be sales for last year. We will write ly. Sales ly will be equals to, now we will use the calculate formula. So calculate, now it has a syntax. So first one is the expression. So we will write down total sales, right? So total sales, comma. Now for last year we need to use date add function. Date add. So which table we will use? We will use dates table. As we are finding out for last year, we will put -1. and the abbreviation as year, and we will just close the brackets if we hit enter. So it will give our sales for last year. Okay, as there is no error, so this formula is correct. So in this way we have to calculate the measures, right? So in our next video also we will find, like, write down multiple DAX functions. Okay, we will use multiple DAX function. I'll tell you what are the different DAX function which are very useful for creating this kind of balance sheets. Okay, so column, we can delete this, delete from model, click on yes. Okay, now see in what we have learned in this particular table. So organization of measures, right? So for measures we need different tables. Okay, so there will be not any mess up. Okay, now if you go on model view, so here also two new tables are created, which is key measures and time comparison. So what we will do, we will just drag this particular table, increase the size, and time comparison just below it. Okay, so organization of this particular table is also very important, okay, for building the relationship. I'll tell you later on, because see here also we have done the organizations of lookup table and fact table. Okay, because always remember the data flows from lookup table to fact table. Okay, now the next thing is we have to write down certain DAX function. Okay, so now we will start our DAX function. Now let's create some of the measures. Okay, so what we will do, before creating the measures we will bring one table. So what we will do, we will just drag this particular date. Okay, so we have this table. Now inside this particular table, each and every date which is present in our data in our date table, it will be present. Now I don't like this particular date hierarchy, so what we will do, we'll just click on this particular arrow. Okay, and instead of data hierarchy we will just select date. Now this kind of date we have, so basically we will just change the format of the date in short date. So only date we will have here in this particular column. Right, now we have already calculated total sales, right? So what we will do, we will write down some of the DAX formulas for calculating some of the measures. Okay, so I'll just right click on this one and new measure. So our first measure will be, we will calculate total cost. So total cost, what would be the total cost? Just think about it. So total cost will be equals to, okay, so we will use sumx function here, sumx. Now which table we will use for this? We will use sales table, comma, so here which column we have to use for finding out the total cost? So total cost will be order quantity multiplied by unit cost, right? So we will just type order quantity. So total cost, it's simple, right? It is a multiplication of quantity multiplied by unit cost. So multiplied by unit cost. Just close this bracket and we will hit enter. So we have total cost as well now. Now the next thing will be, which we will find out, is total profits, right? So again we will just create one new measure, right click, new measure. So total profit will be equals to, now see we will do branching here. Branching in the sense, what we will do, we will calculate this particular total profit by using our previous measure, which so profit will be equals to total sales minus total cost, right? So we can type out total sales here minus total cost. This will be our profit. It's very easy, right? So this is called as branching, where we will calculate a new number with the help of our previous measures. So we got this one as well, total profit. So what we will do, we will just drag this one, total sales, total cost also we will drag. Then we can drag total profit. Okay, now we have to create some of the measures, other measure as well. Now the next measure will be profit margin. Okay, so what will be profit margin? So it will be the division of total profit divided by total sales. So let's find out profit margin. So again we will go to key measure, right click, new measure. Profit margin will be equals to divide total profit, which was our previous measure. So this will be numerator divided by sales, total sales. This will be denominator. So if any error comes, it will return as 0. So this is done. So profit margin is also done. If you want, you can drag here as well, profit margin. Okay, now the next formula will be so we have calculated sales for last year, right? So so this was very easy. For sales for last year we have used this particular formula. Sales last year will be equals to, we have used calculate function, and we have used date add function here. So we can also use time intelligence functions such as same period last year, right? So what we will do, we will calculate profit last year with the help of time intelligence function. So I'll just go to this one, I'll add new measure. Okay, so new measure will be profits last year. Profit last year will be equals to calculate. So inside calculate, which measure we will use? Total profit, right? So total profit, comma, now we will use time intelligence function, which is same period last year. Same period last year function. For this we need date table. Okay, so which was this one, and we have to close two bracket, one for date table and one for this one. If you hit enter, so we will get profit last year. So we can drag these two things inside our table. Sales last year and profit last year. So there is a reason why this is not coming, this because this is the first year, right? So for first year the data will not come. So what we can do, we can create one slicer here. Okay, and inside this we will keep date, right? Now if you drag this one, so see, sales last year and profit last year came. So we have calculated total cost, total profit, profit margin, sales last year, profit last year. Now we will compare sales this year versus sales last year. So this formula is very easy. I know you will also do this one. So sales this year versus sales last year will be equals to, so again what we will do, we will just right click, new measure. Okay, sales this year versus sales last year will be equals to total sales minus sales last year, and just hit enter. If you want, you can take this also to this particular table. Now here negative numbers will come, right, because of this abstraction. Now one more thing guys here, if you observe carefully, so total profit, total cost, right, total cost, this should also be a currency in currency format. Total profit also, this should be in the currency format. Okay, and the main thing, decimal number, what we can do, we can keep only one decimal number. Okay, for total cost, then for total profit as well we will keep one. Then sales last year, again this will be currency format, decimal number will be 1. Then profit last year, and comparison of sales this year versus sales last year, this is also a currency, right? So data type should be correct, always remember this is very important. Okay, now here negative numbers will be represented by the brackets. Okay, so we have done the comparison of sales this year versus sales last year. Now one more uh, measure which we are going to calculate in time comparison analysis will be sales year to date. So sales year to date will be equals to, so for this we can use calculate. So table which we are going to use will be our sales table. Total sales means measure, comma, now inside this we will use dates year to date. We have this function and we will use date table here. So we have sales year to date now. That also we can track. Now the usefulness of this, see, whenever you are creating measures, no, so instead of directly picking up the card visual or anything, you can create such kind of table, right? Because most of the data will be visible here, which numbers are coming negative, which are coming positive and all. Now one more useful thing which you can do is, now let's say we don't want this particular numbers in date format, so what you can do, you can just copy paste this particular table. Okay, so we have got duplicate of this particular table. Okay, now instead of date, let's say we want customer name, right? So what we will do, we will just hide this one, open customer name, we will drag about total sales. So for each and every customer name we have total sale, total cost, like this. Okay, so this will create, like, we can create these things very easily. Okay, now in this particular video what we have learned the arrangement of tables and all. Okay, how to organize it, and we have learned a simple time comparison or time intelligence analysis, and how to create and organize the measures. So some of the measures which we have created here is total cost, total profit, profit margin, profit last year, then comparison of sales this year versus sales last year, sales year to date, and we have used some of the time intelligence functions such as same period last year. Okay, then total quantities we have calculated, and total transaction. Okay, so we can calculate this one, we don't have calculated yet, so total quantities will be very easy. So total quantities will be equals to just aggregate, right, sum of quantity. hit enter. So you can just drag this total quantities inside this one. Total quantities, and the last one will be total transaction, which we can calculate here. So go to new measures. So total transaction will be nothing but we can directly use one function which is count rows, and we have to just give the name of the table, which is the sales table. Close the bracket and hit enter. So we will get total transaction for this particular date and for this particular customer name. So done. Everything is fine now. So yeah, in our next videos we will use certain different DAX function. So thank you for watching this video.